I've got to get some sleep. I've got a big fight tomorrow. Oh. You forced me to go all out. It's time for my 3-sword stance. Oh, come on! Hey, what's up, y'all? We're back with another action figure review. Today we're looking at the Mega House Variable Action Heroes Roronoa Zoro. This is the renewal version. It's a re-release. I didn't get a chance to get my hands on the first one, so I'm pretty happy that they're putting these figures back out there. And these are 7-inch scale figures. We got your boy standing at almost 7.5 inches, so about 19 centimeters. The word on the street is that Mega House's One Piece line has some loose joints and bad quality control. I don't have the original, like I said, so I can't compare, but if you have both, feel free to let me know if there is any difference with that. I do have the Porcus D Ace, and I would say, generally speaking, his quality, his tension is a little bit more tighter. I do like how they did that little joint right there in between the shoulder. I'm not sure if it even has a butterfly joint or not. It kind of functions like one. So there are 2 pieces for his robe, and you can remove both of those, but you just see like the guts for his pelvic area, so it's probably better to keep one of them on at least. And as you can see, it's 2 hinges in it. They didn't put a hinge in the back part though, so it might be a little bit funky when you're posing it around. And while I would prefer soft goods, the way they did the scope work for this thing looks really, really cool. Look at the wrinkles and stuff, those paint apps. It looks really nice. The wrinkles for the pants look good. I love this brilliant seamless boot cut right here. That looks great. I love it. Even the knee joints look pretty cool too. No problems with that. And it does have some shading around his body too, as we all appreciate. I really like how dramatic the sleeves on his garment is sculpted as well. It's got this real windswept look to it. Looks really cool. If there's one thing I think is kind of odd, is how they got this handle sculpted on the side of it though. It's unavoidable. I'm not really sure what they really could have did about it. But these sheets look really cool. What's that, a peace sign? That's all sculpted right there. They did a really good job for the details on all of the sheets, man. I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but they pour it on nice and easy. And of course, you do have your rotation, so no real complaints with that. No complaints with his face sculpt either. That looks just like Zoro to me. I love that scar right there too. This is a nice little look for him. His hair is kind of pointy, but it's most evident when you're swapping out his head, and that's kind of a tight fit right there for that neck joint. That ball pick likes to pop out, so that is a little bit annoying. I'm noticing a lot of paint smudges and paint scuffs and stuff. You can see a little bit of the green from his hair rubbing off on his neck, and I'm getting some mud and stuff around my torso area, so I'm not really feeling that. I removed the floaty piece for his garment, because in theory you would get a better ab crunch, but I'm finding it doesn't make much of a difference with it on or off. He actually has a pretty decent ab crunch, so that's pretty cool. Mega House, they do their thing when it comes to the articulation for these figures. If only they step up that quality control. I had to try this piece on Ryu and see how that would look, and I think that looks awesome right there. I mean, so yeah, he pretty tall, but when it comes to this or SH Figure Arts, man, I gotta get this one. And you know what? When it comes to the height, man, I don't hate it when it comes to Mega House. Like when you get him in hand, it almost feels like you're just kind of playing with a 6-inch figure, just a little bit taller. And like when it comes to photos and stuff, you can kind of like finesse it a little bit. I think I'm up to episode 404 in the anime, so I still got a long ways to go. The one thing I like about watching One Piece though is like it's kind of like one of those Saturday morning type of cartoons. It's got such a carefree type of vibe to it. It's not very intense, so you can kind of watch it when you're doing other things and stuff. So it's really cool and it's funny, man. I think this is probably, it might be like my favorite anime overall, but see, I'll say that, but I think it's other factors that kind of come into play. Like it's been running for a while. It's got a lot of different products and stuff. It's really accessible too. And real quick, I'll show you this ab crunch again with the garments on. As you can see, not too shabby for that ab crunch. And as far as the leg movement going up, it's not really hindered that much by the garments. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass moving those things out the way. And I'll just show you real quick this little joint right here. It's kind of like how SH Figure Arts does for their Dragon Ball figures. So, I mean, it does kind of pop out sometimes, but I think it holds fairly well. Unfortunately, the ankles are going to be the weakest part about his articulation. I don't think it's a double ball joint down there. So it only goes in a little bit. It's minimal range all the way around. It's not excruciating, but I do wish they kind of did something different with that. But his splits is wonderful, and you can get his legs back a decent amount too. For the rest of his accessories, he does have these 3 handles, which are sculpted just like his swords, and they all look really, really good. I like the way that look, and they're all keyed, and they port in fairly well, holds fairly well. He also has these alternate faces you can use for his 3-sword style. And the mouth, the grip, as far as that goes, it holds fairly well. I mean, you could probably wiggle it out, but I think if you just put them in there, it holds all right. And of course, it comes with some fist hands. I say, of course, like every company is including fist hands. But he does have this alternate bicep part, and that swaps out, swaps in nice and easy. No complaints with that. The one complaint I do have is with his grip hands, though. Like, the way they did them is kind of cut. Like, they just essentially cut out the shape of the sword. And it doesn't really hold the swords well at all. Like, you can slide it in and out. There's a part where it will catch, so it's not going to fall completely out, but I wish they would have did something much better with that. But all three of the swords is done really well. I love the detail for these. For your size comparisons, we do have up next to your pork is the Ace from Mega House and your Imagination Works Monkey D. Luffy. And unfortunately, the Imagination Works Luffy's frame is too big, so it's going to be kind of tricky putting these two in together. I got to get the Mega House Luffy. That's what I need to do. And lastly, here we have up next to your Storm Collectibles Jin Kazama, your SH Figure Arts Monkey D. Luffy, and your Kotobukiya Zoro model kit. So final thoughts on the Mega House Zoro. It looks like Mega House is still struggling with their quality control issues, but I'm a big supporter of what they do as far as their figures go. So I'm hoping that they evolve and come back and hit these figures again, as well as continue the line and figures from other lines as well. And other than the paint and the hinges for his shoulders needing to be a little bit tighter, I have no real complaints with this figure. This figure's solid, yo. If you got the money to go for it, I say grab it, man. All right, y'all, that's my video. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.